I'm going to say a word. And when I say the word, I want you to see a face. To see a face that comes to mind when you hear this word. Are you ready? The word is bitter. Bitter. Do you see a face? I see a face. I see the face of a young couple standing in an airport. She's pregnant. He's dressed in military fatigues, preparing to be sent off to some war-torn corner of the Middle East. They hear an announcement and he walks towards security. And she stands there alone, bitter. Do you see a face? I see a face. It's my face. Father is walking in the park with his young son who's terminally ill. Other kids are laughing and playing, running and jumping. He holds his son's hand and looks down and smiles. But the smile is forced because I am so bitter. I see a face of an Oklahoma farmer, like my old brother-in-law, plowing the fields with a 6-figure Massey Ferguson that's owned by the bank, fueled by diesel, bought on credit, planting a crop that he knows won't even break even, while all around him family farms are failing and big agribusiness is taking over. I see the face of a woman. She's about 35. At her sister's wedding, her younger sister, she's standing in the shadows, watching, thinking all the time that it should be her instead. Dr. King once warned us, do not succumb to bitterness. And it's easy to do. Bitterness comes when we've been treated unfairly, when we've been treated unjustly, when others get what we deserve, when we seem to work so hard and scratch and claw for every advancement in our lives, and yet other people seem to have life given to them on a silver platter. Imagine this. You're a 17-year-old kid, living your life like a 17-year-old, and one day at the breakfast table, your dad says, son, I've decided to give you a new sister. She's 17 too. And you're like, well, I'm almost out of the house, so whatever you want. And life goes on until you both turn 18. And one day Dad says, kids, I've decided to turn over the family business to both of my kids. And you say, now just a minute. Where was she when I was trying to pass the 2nd grade? Where was she when I had to take out the garbage every Monday night? Where was she when I couldn't get the keys to the car on a Saturday night? When I had to scrimp and save my allowances just to buy a bicycle? Where was she? Would you say our dad is such a generous man? Not likely. Bitterness comes in our lives, in relationships, in our politics, in our finances, and even in our religious faith. Bitterness is so afraid that my advantage might become your advantage. Bitterness is so concerned that I haven't got mine yet. How can you get yours? Bitterness sees life as a list of grievances that haven't been fulfilled. But there's an antidote to bitterness, and it's found in a simple word in the New Testament, and that word is grace. Grace is a free gift, something that we don't deserve. It's fairness and goodness. Grace, as someone said, is who God is and what God does. You can't buy it. You can't earn it. You don't deserve it, but it comes to us every day in the beauty of the world around us, in the smile of a grandchild, in the loving embrace of a friend who cares for us deeply. Here's an old story. A family's out for a leisurely Sunday drive, so you know this couldn't be in New York. They're out for a leisurely Sunday drive, and things are going quite well until the kids start making a ruckus in the back seat. Dad, pull the car over. Dad says, we're out for a drive. Why should I pull the car over? Dad, there's a little kitten on the side of the road. We have to go help it. Dad says, kids, we already have a zoo at home. We're not going to stop to help that kitten. Oh, they kick and they scream, Dad, please stop the car. And finally, they play the trump card. Well, we never thought we'd have a dad so mean and so uncaring that wouldn't stop to help a little kitty cat on the side of the road. Well, Dad knows when he's beat. He stops the car, pulls around, drives back. Kids, stay in the car. He gets out and walks back to that little kitten. And as he reaches down to pick it up with its last burst of energy, it bares its teeth and arches its back and shows its claws. And he picks it up by the scruff of the neck and carries it back to the car and puts it in a box and says, kids, don't touch it. Who knows where it's been? Well, they take it home. They bathe it, feed it, care for it, give it a nice bed. Out in the garage, of course. A few weeks later, after all that love and caring, Dad walks by. He feels something brushing against his leg. He looks down, there's that cat. He looks around to make sure no one's looking, and he reaches down and he gives it a little caress. And what does that cat do? Does it bare its teeth and arch its back and hiss? No, it doesn't. And you and I both know what the difference has been. The next time God reaches down his hand to touch you, to bless you or your family, look at his hands. They're covered with scratches. Those are the hands of grace reaching down to bitter people just like us.